Hi, my name is Abby Tierney, and I'm going to be presenting on big data. So, big data is a new emerging tool that many organizations and companies will utilize more often as time passes. So, we're going to talk about what big data actually is. We're going to compare it with more traditional systems, talk about the 3 V's, its advantages and disadvantages, and the future of this technology. So big data analyzes, curates, captures, searches, etc. Um, all this information that it gets from a bunch of different sources, and it's really massive amounts of data, and it just brings this into the system, and it can sort through it all and come up with information. So traditional databases, they don't use as many sources or formats. So for example, they can use like documents and things like that, so it's not as diverse. Whereas big data can use videos, pictures. It has sensors that can pick up different movements or characteristics of a photo, and come up with information and collect data on it. So the technology behind it, it collects this massive amount of data, brings it all together, and it can use sensors to analyze it all, and work to give you the information that you need. So we need it because um, as time goes on, there's a huge demand for more accurate data, and we also have such massive amounts of data that we need bigger storage and more efficient systems to come up with our information. And so this can be really useful for retailer databases. They can target customers, as well as social media is really good for gathering information. Um, it can also help in logistics, financial, and health data, which we'll talk more about later. So companies and organizations will use this. Like I was saying earlier, marketers oftentimes this will be really good for them because they can target their customers and figure out who's reacting to what marketing efforts. It can also be used in advocacy, so you can collect massive amounts of data on a certain thing to persuade people to help your organization. So the 3 V's are volume, variety, and velocity. And when we talk about volume, we just mean these massive amounts of data that we're gathering today. We have such advanced technology that it becomes easier for us to get data from a lot of different sources. And so we need to store all of this and also sort through it all. And sensors and machines definitely help with this. So there's a huge variety in the information and the sources we're getting it from. So being able to extract the data from videos, pictures, audio, 3D models, simulations, location data, this makes it a lot easier to come up with more accurate research. And velocity, like I was saying, we have a lot of we have a lot of different technology now, and we just continue to advance in it. So we can gather information quicker and quicker, and this database, big data, allows us to do this more efficiently. So its advantages, it gives you up-to-date information because it can collect it so quickly. Which means it's going to be more accurate, and it saves time and money for businesses, of course, because the quicker you can get that information or more up to date, the quicker you're going to be able to, for example, like I was talking about marketers, the quicker you can target those segments of people and get them to buy more stuff. So the government also uses this, or has done some research and used big data, and it helps them to predict civil unrest in pandemics, which can be extremely useful, obviously. And healthcare in the U.S. Has done some research, and if we used it in healthcare, we estimate that it would save us $300 billion. Europe's government administration also estimated that it would help them by using big data and would save them $149 billion. Its disadvantages are accuracy and too much data. So there's so much data, you have to kind of sort through it all and make sure it's all relevant. And with so much data, you have to really think about with everything that's coming in, what is and isn't good information. It also doesn't see trends. So, for example, like the subprime mortgage crisis, these are things that you would need to account for. So, like subprime mortgage crisis, like I was saying, if people are like trying to save more money, so they may not see that in certain tendencies in retail stores. So, in the future, we can see that they will continue to develop this technology, and it'll be cheaper and more widely used as the development continues. And it obviously, like, it's already really relevant and necessary to society, but as time goes on, it'll definitely, that will increase. So for you, this kind of means that your privacies and tendencies are um, you're constantly a watch. So, and you're grouped into these segments. And so this can be really good in some ways because maybe this will help you if for like a cancer patient, maybe it'll come up with more accurate results on what would be the best kind of treatment for you. But this could also, you can be put into groups on being targeted for retail stores, like what you're going to buy and what sells best to you. But you're going to get more up-to-date and accurate information as well. So as we've talked about, big data is a new emerging tool that many organizations and companies will utilize more often as time passes. And in conclusion, we now understand big data, how it has advanced from traditional databases, the 3 V's, its advantages and disadvantages, and the future of it. Thank you.